Good morning. It is Brian. It is the Art of Startup War. We are back again with another phenomenal startup that we, Expert Dojo, have invested into because we believe that this is the future of the particular industry that this is in. Now, today we're going to talk all about electric power. We're going to talk about where the world is going. We're going to talk about the environment. We're going to talk about all of the opportunity that exists within this huge change that we are in the middle of that is going to help investors like you. And as you're aware, most people who are listening to this podcast are investors who are looking for the next great thing. They are looking for what companies are breaking through, how they're breaking through, what's phenomenal about them, and what is that difference that gives this particular company the opportunity to be able to give 100+ times return to an investor that other companies cannot. So today I'm going to talk with Kirill. The company is EVtrip, a brilliant company. As I said, Expert Dojo have put money into this company. We intend to put more money into this company in the future as well. We love the space that they are in because they're in electric charging at a time when the entire world is wondering out, how do they move away from poisonous, nasty, horrible fossil fuel formed gas to moving to an entire new, clean, beautiful world. And this company, EVtrip, are leading the charge. Kirill, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, guys. And my name is Kirill. I'm based in Italy. Our startup is founded here in the European Union, one of the greatest area which has decided to go for electrical vehicles together with the US. And we are on the market of the future trend of electrification of private transport.
Beautiful. I love it. So I want to find out everything about how you've put this together and where you have, but let's start first and we'll create like a nice base for all of the investors listening. And can we talk a little bit about just electrification in general? Like what's happening in the world today and how are we moving away from the way cars used to be, the gas-based cars, to electric cars? And where do you see that world going to?
Certainly. My experience with electrical vehicle is quite broad. We have started a few years back when electrical vehicle was quite expensive, very nice, super modern toy. It was a toy back in the days. And the reason for that was very, very simple. It was super expensive. It had a very low range of your battery, so you had to charge it often. And the infrastructure was not there. Everybody was worrying about that. That was a few years back. Now things, especially in Europe and US, are turning around. Everybody is talking about electrical vehicles for many reasons. First of all, the price of electrical vehicle has reached a parity with fuel with internal combustion engines. So basically, if you calculate the whole ownership cost of electrical vehicle and benzene car, for example, or diesel car, you will end up at pretty much the same stuff. Then batteries have started to grow, and more car producers have been able to put more mileage, more energy stored in electrical vehicles, so the people were more and more happy to have them. For example, at the moment, I'm in Ukraine, in Kiev, and it's this country is full of electrical vehicles, and mostly it's US-based, US electrical vehicle like Nissan Leaf and Tesla and so on. And the cars here, electrical vehicle is like each 10th, what you can see on the street because of two things: the price of the car, the government incentives on import, and the price of the energy is very, very low. So at the end of the day, having electrical vehicle here is economically efficient. People are charging, people are running around the city. So it's pretty impressive because electrical vehicles do have significant impact on the environment. Yesterday, I was crossing the bridge just above the highway from an island in the center of the city. It's like a huge park with a lot of trees between the rivers, with very clean air. And you can just feel the smell, the smoke of the cars with the internal combustion engines. And it's like, Jesus, and this is the reality. This is what we breathe on a daily basis and not even consider as harmful. But in reality, it's really, really harmful, especially for the cities.
So what we're saying generally is that the world is never going to go back, right?
The world
Yeah.
world will never go back to fueled cars, especially at least for passenger cars, or let's say light duty cars, because here price, autonomy, convenience is perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
And electrical vehicles are brand new. It means they use all new technologies you can imagine of. So, and you can remember that, new car has been released, but in reality, it was like a 5 years old technology in sense of like a screens, meters, I don't know, some other user facing elements of the car. But at the moment, electrical vehicles, they're like a spaceships. It's like everything is digital, because in electrical vehicle, there is no need for mechanical stuff at all. And they're pretty nice. They're super new, super technological, and they're just cool. I personally
I like it. They're just cool.
I love driving electrical vehicle. It's super cool.
I love that. So, but I do believe, so we have all of this positive on one side. And I think once cost aligns with all of the other nice things, that's when a technology breaks through, right? When you have the cost that's aligned with the fact that everybody loves it, they look nice, they're good, they work and everything else. But we do have one challenge that still faces the entire evolution and implementation of electric vehicles on a global level, and that is the infrastructure, because the infrastructure on the roads that we currently have built is not built for electric vehicles. It is built for the last 50 years. And that's where I believe the challenge lies, and it's where the opportunity lies for you. So can you speak a little bit about the current infrastructure? And when I talk about infrastructure, I mean, how the heck do you make sure that these cars have inside them what they need to keep on running? Electric, they need to be charged. In the old gas cars, obviously it was gas stations, and there are tons of those around. So how do we move from being a globe of gas guzzling gas stations to become a land of beautiful, clean electric charging devices?
Definitely. Yes. To run electrical vehicle, you need to do things. First of all, you need to charge your electrical vehicle with electrical energy. And then you have to do that more often. So unfortunately, electrical vehicles has a less mileage than traditional cars. It's more than enough for daily use, even for long-term trips, but still it's not like 1,000 miles or 700 kilometers for a standard internal combustion diesel car. Mileage is still 300, 400, 500, and so on. So first of all, you need to fuel up your car twice as much as a traditional car. This is not really a big issue if you have your own house and you have your own plug. And this is how historically electrical vehicles were developing. So users was solving their problem of the charging on their own. Like they have built their own infrastructure given the resources they have had. Slow chargers, domestic plugs, 3 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt, whatever they have had. And they were and they are really enthusiasts, because where do I charge my electrical vehicle? At my garage only, because there is nothing else. And Brian, you're right. We have built a lot of gas stations, a lot of gas stations, and mathematics shows that to use this pattern of fueling our transport, let's imagine we have a lot of charging stations everywhere on the planet, like superchargers, but fueling your car takes 5 minutes, and you have 1,000 miles or 1,000 kilometers in your tank. For having the same amount of energy, you have to charge at least 15 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour in general. So you need at least 20 times more charging stations to have the same capacity. And electrical vehicle, you have to charge your electrical vehicle twice more often. So in reality, you need not 20 times more, but 40 times more gas stations. Now just imagine a world which is full of gas stations. So, and this doesn't really work, and this is the reason why the problem of charging is still there. So the right charging, the approach which we follow, which we think the world is going to, is not superchargers or a kind of gas station experience with electrical vehicle. You drive into somewhere, you fill in something and you leave. That doesn't really work. Electrical vehicle has to be charged when the car is parked most of the time. It can be home, existing pattern of electrical vehicle usage, or it can be at work. Very few customers, but very few users, but they are charging only at work. So they don't have a charger or they don't have a garage. They park the car normally and they charge at work. Then you can charge when you go to the gym and you spend few hours each second, third day. So you fuel up your car in a place where it's convenient. In this mode, you take out from equation the complexity, the difficulty of the charging. You park your car, you plug in, and you charge. And
yeah, so we
very simple and very easy.
We move from location-based energy to convenience-based energy, which is beautiful, right? That's actually how our lives are absolutely being run. And is there currently the infrastructure? I love when I ask a question that I know the answer. Is there currently an infrastructure that allows for convenience-based charging around the world?
At the moment, there are a lot of chargers. For example, in Europe, there are approximately 150,000 chargers, public chargers, all over the places, but they are poorly used. So the average utilization rate is like 8%, something like very, very, very low. It's very, very expensive. And guess what? Nobody's using them except for superchargers in a long-term trips when you need to run 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers in one set. And this is quite rare situation. So superchargers are used, but they cover only 10% of energy used for your communication, because the most of the commute is local based. It's short-term distances in a city, in a suburb, go back to the shopping mall, and you don't need superchargers for that. So you just simply need a place when you leave your car, plug it in, and that's it. And you don't take care about that. So, but this infrastructure doesn't exist, because you cannot put a charger everywhere, given the current pattern of how chargers are put. So you put a very expensive charger, you put very, very expensive cables, you pay a lot of money for civil works, for digging in the holes in asphalt and so on. But all these expenses have to be carried by the users at the end of the day, because otherwise the market doesn't work, and users do not want to carry those expenses. And this is the reason why AC charging network in Europe is poorly utilized. And there are a lot of charge point operators, professional charger operators, but they don't really profit. They're not really profitable companies. They just put a lot of money in literally the dirty money into the ground. Literally.
Okay. So, Kirill, we have teased people enough. We know the system is not working, and it is not supporting this incredible new initiative of going away from gas cars or towards beautifully energy efficient and clean, environmentally gorgeous product that we want to bring out to the market. We want everybody to have, which is electric cars everywhere. Talk to us about EVtrip, and talk to us about how EVtrip have solved that problem.
I'd love to. So first of all, We have started on energy market at initial stage. Then we have realized that here's a big gap between what user needs and what market offers for the electrical vehicle. For electrical vehicle users, we have started to dig into the details. Why public charging network is so expensive? Why it costs 15,000 euros or dollars doesn't really matter much to put one charger. So it's just a price of the car. This is the price of the car. And why is that? And we have realized it's just inefficient everywhere. It's just inefficient because chargers are too expensive. Civil works are too expensive. Power lines, cables, permissions are just too long and too expensive. And we decided, we just take it out, everything of that from the equation, and we have started from blank page. We literally reinvented the charger and made it so cost efficient. So it costs nothing basically to literally empower any parking lot to charge.
Incredible.
And as following our philosophy that electrical vehicles should be charged when it is parked for most of the time. Garage, work, I don't know, gym, restaurants, private parking lot or something like that. We have built a charger which fits that requirements. So it is super cost efficient. It fits any power line you might consider. So literally it's the same charger and it works well for 3-phase to 22 kilowatt or 1-phase line, doesn't really matter. Just same piece of equipment that you put and you start charging. You don't need to get a permissions, which takes 6 months to, I don't know, 1 year. You don't need to dig holes in asphalt and put a lot of cables. You don't even need to install a super expensive charger. You just take basic charger, which is super smart, which we have created, and voila, you can charge at home, you can charge at your park yard, you can charge in your company, at your company parking lot, you can charge everywhere, and you can do that for free, for a payment, with different conditions. If you buy from my shop and you can charge for free or blah, blah, blah. Like 10% of your spending at my coffee will be topped up to your charging account. So please feel free to use our product and so on. And we follow that philosophy. And we have created the charger, which is way above the performance of anyone else. So just an example. We have a customers with Tesla that do not buy Tesla chargers. They buy our chargers for private use or quasi-public use, because our chargers are more convenient. They are more advanced and they have a services which other chargers doesn't have in their package. We have Renault customers, we have a Citroen customers, we have all kinds of cars which the users are looking for the functionality which exists in our chargers, and they cannot find it other way in other chargers at the right price. And so we're really happy on that, because our chargers help everyone, private, public, small businesses, restaurants, hotels, parking lots. Everywhere you go, you can install our charger.
Excellent. So it's fantastic. So you've come out, you've brought out this charger. I know we invested in the charger because we believe it to be the smartest charger, the least expensive charger, the most efficient charger, and the most convenient charger on the market right now. What's going to happen? There are going to be tens of millions of chargers that are going to be installed. I am probably under saying what this is going to be. It's probably going to be way more than that number. Remember, how many cars are there in the world? That's how many chargers there need to be in the world. Like literally the opportunity. This is the gold rush for electric power. And the companies that come out the strongest, the best, are the ones that are going to win. And that's why we've put our money on EVtrip, and we believe EVtrip are going to break through. And I want to talk a little bit about the traction and kind of where you've taken the company. And but before I do, let's just go back to the beginning. And because now everything is going great, you're raising money. We've put money into you already. You've had other investments from other folks. You've got phenomenal chargers. You've got them out on the road. But this must have been really hard at the beginning. So just take us through a little bit of the hero's journey and talk us like right at the very beginning when things were at their most difficult. Talk to us about some of the biggest challenges that you were facing and maybe some stories about how difficult it was to get over those challenges.
Lovely. So we have started with hardware part when we have developed the charger from the scratch basically 1 year ago. We have created the charger with a very basic functionality, and we have subscribed our first customer who has ordered 50 chargers, and we started to look for the production partner to build that charger. So the charger was so simple, and this simplicity created its economical efficiency. We took existing shell, which was used for electrical cabling and electrical connections. So it was sealed for rough weather and so on. So, but it was a standard product which cost like $20, $25, and it's really, really nice. It just looks nice. Then we took 3 pieces of equipment: power relay, which controls the energy flow with a high load, energy meter, and our microelectronics. And this is basically the charger. And there are cables, of course, and so on, but this is a charger, nothing else. We assembled that in few prototypes, and I have found a producing partner in Italy who was ready to produce the chargers in accordance with our request. When that partner realized and have seen how simple the charger was, he started to produce his own chargers.
Oh.
And quality check was like a miracle. He took our charger, made basically in a garage, soldered manually, and he charged his Tesla. Like was check, it's working. And because of the simplicity, we have reached economical efficiency, which is not available to anyone. You cannot import anything in Europe, for example, from China. Any charger from China imported to Italy will cost more than our charger produced in the European Union with a quite high salary levels in Italy. So this is how simple it is, how smart it is. And our concept of building everything from scratch have paid out because of that economical efficiency. The same partner have sold his first 10 chargers in February. Right now, he is selling like 200 chargers a month after 6 months start. He has won few tenders from large energy companies here in Italy.
Yeah, and Kirill, just to be clear, when you say your partner is selling them, it's your product that your partner is selling, right? You're the one who's created the partnership with your partner, and your partner is out there selling that product for you.
Let me explain how this works. So we have developed a technology, we have developed a charger, and we share that technology, we license that technology to our partner.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
this partner is producing, buying spare parts, having a stock, do sales, his sales activities, and benefits from this technology.
Yeah.
We are basically technology provider. We are similar to, I don't know, IDE of the software, or We are Google Suite for running your office activities.
Yeah, and just look, so it's important because what we're talking about here is like, what is the revenue model for the company, right? And I think everybody understands licensing as a general concept, right? It's beautiful. Everybody loves licensing. Why do people like licensing? Because it's so predictable and it's so expandable. So rather than selling them one by one by one by one, what you want to do is get 10, 15, 30, 40, 50, 500, 5,000 licenses. And then you have all of these people selling the product themselves and paying for the technology that they're using inside the product. So all of the investors listening here are going to be thinking, great, this company has the ability to actually bypass what's the normal challenge that's facing an early stage startup, which is that there's only a few people selling, and that means that you can only get a few sales. In this particular case, by using licensing, it means that you can literally sell 100,000 chargers to 100,000 people, and you can do it through all of your partners. And so why did you choose the license agreement? Maybe other than what I just said there, maybe I just said it perfectly well. And then how do you see this sales strategy expanding?
We have decided that this business model fits well several conditions. Our chargers are still hardware, and hardware brings hardware issues like stock, production, assembly lines, quality control, employees, operators, deliveries, returns, and all of that. And we have decided we don't want that. We are not hardware startup. We are technology startup, and we empowered others. And this perfectly works because we are good in technology, we are good in product development, we are good in software, we are good in customer support, and we are good in customer curation. But our production partners, and this is just one type of partner we are working on, they are good in stock management, in procurement, in management, in employee management, in assembly. They're really bad in technology. You can provide them with all pieces of the chargers, but if the central piece, microelectronics, is difficult enough, they will not be able to produce the charger. They need much more simpler product. They just put in, attach cables, follow certain instruction for the quality control, and that's it. So we come with the partners, we combined excellence in software technology and product efficiency and operational efficiency, which lies in stocks, in experience of assembly of some other products, and so on. And this is one reason why I have chosen this way. The second reason is the same approach, the same philosophy we follow. We don't build CapEx, because there are competitors who still build CapEx. And I'm not talking about chargers. They build factories to produce chargers. We don't need factories. There are a lot of factories on the planet, and most of them are empty or underloaded, and they're looking for the contracts. They're looking for the way how to utilize their stock management, employees, square meters of their warehouses and the production floors, and everything is already exist. So our timing to expand our production facility is basically 1 month. It's a timing lag for delivery of key components to assemble the charger. So just imagine that like in 3 months we subscribe 10 production partners in US. Each production partner in 6 months time will sell 500 chargers or something like that. In 9 months we have created a factory, a virtual factory, combining our competences and our partners' competences, which sells 5,000 chargers a month. And this is keep on growing.
So that takes me to that point, because I think especially in the last 5 minutes or so in the podcast, I want to focus everybody on the vision of what this can become. I think there's a few things which are very clear. Number one is Yes, having the best, most efficient, least expensive, and most convenient charger on the planet is an awesome thing, right? Everybody loves that. Number two, not having to mess with hardware and the logistics and the challenges that are faced with that is similarly awesome. Nobody wants to build 10, 15 manufacturing plants, right? Number three, licensing it and actually having it as a model where you can multiply your sales force and literally have 1,000 salespeople without hiring anybody is genius as far as getting it to the market, because speed is your greatest enemy in this case, and this is your way to take it on. So let's talk about the company itself. How do you grow? What does the vision look like of what you become? Like, what do you look like in 5 or 10 years' time when the company has gone public? How much revenue are you doing at that stage? And then how is it going to grow from now to there?
Uh, in 5 years' time, we see us a major player on US, Europe, South America markets, based on few hundreds, maybe thousand partners in the different areas, and just selling major part of private chargers, or chargers for private use or semi-private use. And this is our growth strategy. And because we focus on the private market, which is much simpler to address, which is much easy to explain, easy to get contract with, we can grow really, really fast. We don't work with governments and city bodies, which are slow. They just install few chargers and so on. We focus on private chargers, and history shows and statistics shows that this is going to be 85% of all energy processed for electrical vehicles. So just imagine our managing millions of chargers, private chargers, in the different places of the planet, like Europe, US, South America, Central America, and so on. Millions of chargers, millions of gigawatt of the energy processed. And our smart chargers with embedded smart services help our users to charge faster, to charge cheaper, to charge in a convenient way. So it's like a virtual, it's a network, it's like a fog of a lot of energy, just humongous amount of energy processed. And we're sitting on top of that energy processing. And we can generate money at the beginning of when we sell charger, and then following down the road when the people are using charger. We have a range of built-in services which capitalize, which make money on energy processing through our chargers. It's humongous amount of energy, humongous amount of dollars, humongous amount of services which are built in a very simple device, which we have built it from scratch.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. You're making all of the tools for the gold rush to be possible. And the thing is, the gold rush will never finish. There's always going to be demand for new chargers, always going to be demand for better chargers. This is just the beginning of an entirely new paradigm that had just begun. And I'm tremendously excited for us to have been able to invest in it. Kirill, how can people contact you? And details of the website as well. And of course, for everybody here, you can always, if you have any questions, you can always speak to Brian at expertdojo.com and shoot me over an email, and I'll happily reinforce why we've invested in the company. So finish up with Kirill with your email, please, website, so people know where to go to look at EVtrip. And then also one last statement, and I'll leave the last word with you on why people can be so sure that you are going to execute a billion-dollar company in the charging space.
So my contacts are ks@evtrip.net. You can find it on a website. I'm easy reachable over the email or over the LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn is Kirill.Starodubov at LinkedIn, so pretty easy. And one sentence is very, very simple. There are going to be 500 million chargers on the planet installed. We have the technology which brings to the market the most efficient and the smartest charger on the planet. And I've exited already from $2.4 billion company. I was a core member of Unicorn in Europe, few which even exist on the European market. So
that is a beautiful place to finish. That, my friend, is a wrap. You have a unicorn finder now on the race to be a unicorn hunter. Who the heck else are you going to put your money on? Thank you, Kirill. I couldn't be happier that we have invested in you, and I see you going all the way on this one.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.